Welcome back to GCTV. Welcome back to the O2 Arena in Prague as we get ready for the second half of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. And if you are just joining us, you have missed an intriguing, dare I say, fascinating opening round. A round that has produced rather strange results. Some really peculiar performances, some human rider errors, and some outstanding saves from some combinations. Andreas Skar will be a major surprise to be leading at the end of round one. Michael van der Vleuten and Julien Epaillard, many people's favorites on two of the quickest clears. Jessica Springsteen, Peter Fredriksson looking good on the 17-year-old Catch Me Not. Henrik von Ackermann and King Edward, an unlikely four. He is the fastest of the fours though, and we'll hope to see some fences go down from those clears that come after him. Harry Smulders will be frustrated as well with the final fence going down. Christian Kukuk will feel delighted perhaps that Sumal just had a single rail down. And for Philip Weishout, I'm afraid, a very uncharacteristic 12 from him and Kobe takes him out of contention completely. Speaking of Peter Fredriksson, he comes into tonight's Lgct Super Grand Prix on Catch Me Not. 17 years of age, was relatively early to come out the gates. In fact, he was second to come out the gate today on that 17-year-old grey. And many believe that this is going to be a final shot at glory for this pairing, for Peter Fredriksson and for Catch Me Not. Let's show you what took place then between the two as the legendary Swede came out today once again on that 17-year-old grey, looking to try and start the Lgct Super Grand Prix in strong fashion. Well, after a year of 2021 winning absolutely everything, Peter Fredriksson, no surprises to know that that hunger, that desire is still there for him and for Catch Me Not. Makes his way around this arena with relative ease, being overlooked by a rather important mind there. Now, of course, Peter Fredriksson back inside the ring, approaches BMW, has no trouble. Now at the halfway point of the ring, starts getting into the back end of it. Gets over Airbank, no trouble. And all of a sudden now the reality of jumping clear starts becoming very clear. And he goes on to deliver that clear and hold on to it. Peter Fredriksson, can he do it? Is there a fairy tale finish here for him and Catch Me Not? We caught up with his groom, Maddie, earlier on today to find out more about this pairing and what success tonight would mean, in particular for, many would say, the real athlete, Catch Me Not.
Catch Me Not's stable name is Charlie, yeah. He had it when I came already, but I like it. It feels like he's a Charlie for me. Charlie's personality, I would say, is quite big. He's a character. He knows what he likes, he knows what he doesn't like. And we work around that and to keep him as happy as possible. And yeah, I mean, he has a big heart. He does everything 110%. So that's really amazing. I would say at home, Charlie is like a grandpa. He's relaxed, he loves to be in the field, he loves to go on a hike in the forest, and he's out with his friends in the field and just have a nice time. Charlie's background, okay, I haven't been with him the whole time. I got told the story from Ebba and the other ones, and what I got to know, he was not the easiest one. He could be a bit naughty, he could be quite fresh. He has his own style with jumping and everything. I mean, he's a super horse. I think Peter has to adapt to his style in one way, and then for sure they've been working together to get to this point. I mean, it's not only the horse, it's also the rider together. It's the combination that makes the team and makes everything work. If it would not fit with the horse, the rider and the horse, it would not be as successful as it's been. So I think it's a compromise. My highlight with Charlie, I think, it's difficult to say, it's a lot of them. But for sure, the first Grand Prix when I was with him in London, is always going to be special. The Europeans for sure. But I mean, it's the small things. I mean, it's not always the biggest wins that are the most special ones. It could be a moment at home or just a moment where everything is clicking and connecting. This is Charlie's first Super Grand Prix. We've been here before jumping the team, but not the Super Grand Prix. I mean, what we're doing before now is just to make him happy, basically, I would say. We're out walking just to make him feel good, Peter's gonna ride him a bit, and I mean, he's always doing 110% in the ring, so I'm not worried about that. So yeah, I hope everything clicks today, that it's gonna be good. Charlie's 17, he's a superstar. If he wins today, I actually don't know, I think he will keep on going until that it feels like it's the right time. And I hope he's gonna be fit and compete with us for a long time further. And I mean, it's up to Peter and Ebba to make the decision when it's time. But as long as he's happy and everything is good, I hope he's with us.
Some wonderful insight into the stables, into what happens behind the scenes for Catch Me Not and Peter Fredriksson, Maddie, his groom. You can see the love, the cherish that we see for these animals, and Maddie absolutely with Charlie, as affectionately known. I love the side names. I remember a couple of weeks ago when we were chatting to Michael van der Vleuten's groom, and he was telling us that Beauville is known as Bobby in the stables as well. So all of these nicknames, I think Frederick de Backer and I need a few nicknames for the 2024 season. Frederick de Backer, we are ready to come to you. Big smiles on the faces. Let's talk about what is taking place here. But of course, I hand over to you and go straight into some guests. Let's talk about some icons. Let's get some perspective. Over to you, Mr. de Backer.
Yeah, sorry about that, Mark, but I've got a Longines Global Champions Tour champion here with me, a winner of the Grand Prix back in Doha with the great Valentina van Heijken, a man who has done great results. It's not Valentina in Doha. It was Valentina, right? Jos Lansink, of course. No longer as a rider, but here, of course, as a trainer, the team manager of Team NL, the Dutch equestrian team. You've got two riders in this field with Michael van der Vleuten. Sanne Thijssen as well, sorry about that, Jos. What did you make of your riders?
I think they did all a very good job. Two clears, and Harry was very unlucky on the last fence.
Let's talk about Harry first. Can you analyze, as an expert, on how that fault came about?
When I'm honest, you could see it already a little bit. The horse was the last line a little bit empty, and he said also a little bit. It felt also a little bit the same. Maybe on the end, when you can do it one more time, and you have not a chance to do it twice. But then you should maybe do 7 instead of the 6. The 6 get a little bit flat, and yeah, that's why you get the mistake.
All right, we'll go to Michael van der Vleuten. Brilliant clear with Beauville. How did you see his round? What stood out for you? What sticks to your mind after seeing that round of Michael?
Yeah, the horse jumped yesterday an unbelievable round, and he rode unbelievable, and today exactly the same.
And then we have to talk about Sanne Thijssen. How well did you know cum laude?
I saw it last week. I think for the second time on the show. Last week. He was in a 4-star in Maastricht, and yeah, this is a completely different level. And how simple he jumped it today was amazing.
And nobody saw that coming. Did you see this coming this clear?
Nobody saw it coming.
Nobody saw it coming. Even Jos Lansink didn't see it, Mark. Back to you. Thank you very much, Jos.
Thank you very much, Frederick de Backer. Jos Lansink giving us some lovely insight into some of the surprising and rather unique performances of the opening round of Global Champions League. Global Champions League, I beg your pardon, the Longines Global Champions to a Super Grand Prix. One of the 4s from the opening round belongs to Edwina Tops-Alexander. And we have found a few fascinating fans that have traveled halfway around the world from Australia all the way to Prague to be here this entire week for the Lgct Super Grand Prix, for the Global Champions League, for the entire GC Prague playoffs. Rosie Tapner is standing by alongside the most electrifying Australians I've ever met in my life. Rosie, over to you. Let's meet them.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I'm here in the stands with the Aussies who have come all the way from Australia. Emma, what a long way to come.
It did feel like a long way to come, but unbelievable, and it is so worth it. The buzz and the atmosphere here is absolutely unbelievable. You have to be here to really get the true of what happens here, and the crowds and the riders and the horses are so professional, but they are so nice and approachable as well. It's just unbelievable.
You're also here for another special reason as well.
So we were meant to come in 2020 with a good friend of mine, but COVID stopped that. So when Edwina won in Madrid in May, the week after I had a horse event and Von came. And I said, oh, you should go. Anyway, a few weeks later, she surprised me and said, it's booked, we're going. And I was unbelievable. Unfortunately, with illness, a couple of weeks ago, she couldn't make it. So my husband, Butch, was always plan B. So we are
Plan B.
Plan B. And Von stuck by a word. She is an amazing person. So shout out, Von. I know you're watching.
Oh, well, listen, a massive shout out to Von. We also have Christian Kukuk's family here as well. And Butch next to me, the husband of Emma, who was Plan B, but he is here. And I did hear, Mark, that you said, Butch, have a beer on me. So back to you, Mark.
Well, Butch got the best ticket in town. And good day, Von. Lots of love to you in the background. We see on the banner there. That is absolutely fantastic. Australians traveling halfway around the world for this week's GC Prague playoffs and hoping and supporting Edwina Tops-Alexander as she goes to look for a second Lgct Super Grand Prix title. What is Edwina Tops-Alexander going to jump in the second round? What is all of these riders going to jump in the second round? Well, let's go down to the course. Let's find out what's happening for round 2 in tonight's course walk.
This is the course walk of the second round of the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. We are standing by fence 1, something that we normally don't do, but I just want to show you first fence 1, the champagne bottles of Tétanger. Who is going to pop the champagne bottles at the end of this Grand Prix? That is one question. The next question is, have a look at this very awkward corner already from fence 1 to fence 2. You're coming towards the in-gate, and then on what looks like a fairly open, on the inside line, 7 strides, you come up to this wavy plank. That is the BMW CarTech vertical wavy planks. They're absolutely at the top spots. This is the highest point. Try to aim for this one. This is already fence 1 and fence 2, ladies and gentlemen. Uljano Verzani is meaning business. There's plenty of lines that need a lot of explanation, but we don't have all the time in the world. So I just want to point out to you this very interesting line, as this is somewhat of our area. It is the approach from that Longines Global Champions Tour Oxer that sits over there. Bush Oxer, as you come out of the turn, there's plenty of time to approach it. And then it feels that if you ride on the normal inside line, that your 7 strides come up around and about here. Now that's way too close, so you want to find yourself a little bit more out and get a little bit more room, because there's an option. You know that round 2 is all about the time. If you're on a tie, if you're tied for points, for penalties, the time will be decisive, and so there's an option. There is an option to jump this plank, or to jump this vertical, but it's huge, jump that vertical from outside to inside and actually make this inside turn, because otherwise you have to go all the way around, and if it comes down to time, we're not talking about seconds, we're talking about hundreds of seconds, potentially even tens of seconds. So then you can make the inside turn and make it over to fence 11 and fence 12, which is the final line. Huge plank, 4 strides down to the Liverpool, and that is the final fence. Rob Hoekstra told me, keep an eye on that final fence. Horses have been jumping a lot. It has been a big Grand Prix. This is the second round. That means that they have jumped 25 jumps before they got here. And this is a dead square oxer, back rail is far away, Liverpool underneath. And Mark, if you look behind you, we're jumping straight into your studio. So as we close here with the course walk of the second round of this Super Grand Prix, it's over to you in studio.
Frederik de Backer is in fact just right over there, we can see him. Wave to us, Frederik. Do we get him? There he is, right over there on the Longines fence. That's where we see Frederik de Backer as he wraps up his course walk. Thank you very much. Well, it's going to be an intriguing second round. It is going to be a 1.25 million euro worth intriguing round, as we are just moments away from these 16 competitors coming out and deciding who then is going to be the winner, who then is going to be the champion for 2023. Which of these riders is going to stand on top of the podium with the champagne, the confetti and the fireworks by the end of the night? Stay with us here on GCTV. You and I will find out soon. Round 2 of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix is next.